For Husky Sports Friday, I'm John Peterson, once again here with the head coach of the St. Cloud State University wrestling team, Steve Costanzo. Steve, 1 week of regular season in the books. It was the Harold Nichols Open in Ames, Iowa, and the Huskies came away with two champions at 157 pounds with the redshirt freshman Clint Poster, and at 184 pounds, the redshirt senior three-time All-American captain Seamus O'Grady. Overall, tell us about this weekend at Ames.
Well, coming away with two champions, 9th-place finishers in the top six. I was very pleased with our performance. Although there's a lot of kids that need to work on specific things, and including the ones that did well, I was very pleased with the performance.
Talking about moves here, top, bottom, or both up, what did you see most of the wrestlers excel at the most?
Well, I mean, they're excelling in all areas, but it's not like we have to continue to work on all areas and get better. So there's not one area that we're more dominant than another. We just need to continue to get better, especially on the bottom. We have to continue to move when we're on the bottom and not just sit still there and relax, recover, so to speak. But we have to stay in better position on the bottom, eliminate holes, and continue to move, get our head up, get to our feet. So those are areas that's an area that we're of concern right now, talking about the bottom position. But I did see some good things from specific individuals on the bottom. But of course, those are individuals that are doing all those things, such as moving all the time and chain wrestling and on the bottom, going from one specific movement to another. Even though it's an area of concern right now, we do have some individuals that are doing a great job down there.
It's still early in the season, of course, and some of the cobwebs are still coming out of some of these young wrestlers, some of these redshirt freshmen, and especially freshmen. Elaborate a little bit about the Iowa State tournament for some of these freshmen.
Well, we had a lot of freshmen down there, whether it's redshirt freshmen or true freshmen, and especially for a true freshman going in Iowa State, it's an eye opener. You get down into Hilton Coliseum down there, and I'm sure there was a few butterflies going on, and some guys that were maybe even a little overwhelmed and such. But it's a great place to start your career. It's a great wrestling atmosphere, great competition when you include some of the best in Division I down there, such as Iowa State, Northern Iowa, University of Illinois, Nebraska. I mean, we're talking about some of the best in Division I. I thought our guys competed well. I thought our younger guys competed well. They went out, for the most part, wrestled for 7 minutes, got after it, were competitive, and we came away with 4 of our 9 kids that placed were either a redshirt freshman or a true freshman. So it's not too bad, and those that didn't place, I do have to mention them as well, because even though they might not have placed, I felt like they competed with excellent fighting spirit, and we'll continue to get better as the weeks progress.
Scheduling a tough tournament to start out the year, of course, is a big thing to keep St. Cloud State on top of the wrestling world. What are a couple of other things that you and the coaching staff try to aim on year after year to start the team on the right foot?
Well, right now, we're in open season mode. We're wrestling our 3 first tournaments are opens, and what we want right now is just our guys to go out and compete. We're trying to establish certain identities within our team. We want our younger guys to go out and get a lot of matches. So instead of them focusing on having to win a lot of matches, which everybody wants to win matches, we're focusing more on get as many matches as you can, get as much experience as you can. So those are some of the things that we're working on right now. We've got some flaws with some individuals, and maybe it's within our system, we're trying to work through those things and problem solve and get better at certain areas. So we'll continue to do that throughout the next few weeks as we get ready to open up our season with dual meets.
This weekend, it's the Cobber Open in Moorhead, Minnesota at Concordia Moorhead. Now, for me and my experience of covering wrestling in the past, this tournament has a lot of familiar wrestlers that I know of that come from Minnesota, and the majority of the Huskies wrestling squad is from Minnesota. Compared to last week at the Harold Nichols Open, most of the wrestlers have never seen these kids in high school, but this upcoming weekend, I can see a lot of these kids being familiar with their opponents in high school. What do you tell these kids, saying that even though you wrestle them in high school, college is a whole different level?
Yeah, they just need to go out and wrestle. They can't get too caught up into playing the name game and all that. They just need to go out. Wrestling's wrestling. We're at a different level now. Bodies are changing, such as maturity, and systems. They're in a different system than they were, rather than when they were in high school. So things are changing, and we try to just tell our kids, regardless of who they're wrestling to, not really pay too much attention to specific individuals that they're wrestling, and focus just more on going out and having a great performance, and just wrestle for 7 minutes. And it doesn't matter who you are, and not having to respect certain opponents a certain way as well. Sometimes when we tend to wrestle bigger names and so forth, we tend to give a little bit too much respect. Therefore, we don't open up as much as maybe we should or could. So, that's what we're telling our guys right now. We just want to go out, get a lot of matches, get some more, continue to get experience, and focus on our performance.
Now, this Cobber Open will be the first time you will get to see some conference opponents. I know Southwest Minnesota State will be there, and of course, University of Moorhead. As a coaching staff, how do you look to capitalize on knowing the competition this year, even though it's only the open season and you haven't seen them in a duel yet?
Well, a lot of things can change from the beginning of the season to the middle and to the end. It really doesn't matter who we're wrestling right now, whether it's a conference opponent or whether it's an opponent from a Division I school, because things are going to change. We're either going to get better or we're going to go the other direction and maybe get worse. I don't know, but we have to just take one match at a time down there. Again, it doesn't matter who we're wrestling. We're focusing on our performance, and whether it's a conference opponent or if it's someone we're not going to see the rest of the season, it doesn't really matter. And so we try not to get too wrapped up even with the teams that we're wrestling. As I mentioned, wrestling's wrestling, and this season, at the beginning of the season, things are going to be a little bit different when you look towards the end of the season. So right now, we just want to go out with each match and just continue to get better.
The Finn Grinniker Open at Concordia Moorhead this upcoming Saturday. Wrestling will start at 9 a.m. The second open of the Huskies open season, trying to capitalize off a really good week at Iowa State last week, and now they will head to Concordia Moorhead. Best of luck this week, and once again, thanks for joining me, Coach.
Thanks a lot, John.